Hey, thanks for coming by. I am today dealing with my software a little bit. I want to make some like fundamental changes, so I don't really have anything released. But of course, the you can go down below and find this software if you are so inclined. You can get it either from my website without any kind of ad stuff in it, like what you see here, nice and clean, or you can get it right from Google Play, which is of course trustworthy. Whatever. Okay, so what I found is now it's always a challenge when you're dealing with software as it starts to move. You're moving more stuff in there. It's like, how do I fit all this crap on how do I make it easy and fit everything in there and keep it kind of relaxed, right? The software was starting to get very busy down here, starting to get very busy on the page. So I need to sort of take a design, like retrospective kind of just relook at the damn thing, So what I did is I kind of reduced our menu here, and you can see this over on the right side over here where I have the software. I might mention a couple things, but there's our three tabs that we're using. Just to throw it up there. I'm not going to get real technical, but you can see what's going on here. And it's what it'll do is really it'll just take us to the pages we're familiar with, right? Except now I've made more room on the page because now we don't have this busybody thing on the bottom. The other thing was when you were going somewhere, you could get out of that page. It didn't really break anything, but I didn't like it. Right now, you got to kind of wait for it to finish before you can go back, right? And of course, I have this little guy up here that brings you back. Otherwise, you're just sort of in this page. Hitting that is pretty much the same as going back, hitting your just general Android back button. Same deal for the DTCs. It's the same pages that you've seen. A little bit more room though, and the same deal. If I go read now, I can't go back, and I want the user to be stuck here. I really don't want you moving around while this thing's communicating. So what I did before is I would just slam the I can't really show you. This is all in progress. It's all under construction. But what would happen before is you could start communicating, and you can do this if you have and it's the only versions available to you. Go ahead and start it communicating and then switch. It won't break anything, but it'll just stop communicating, and it'll be like, what, and you'll come back to the page, and maybe it'll say it's monitoring when it really was stopped or something. But now what it does is this will bring us into the page and kind of keep us there until our business is done or we can't do anything else, right? So it's like, oh, okay, what am I supposed to... Actually, is this right? All right, anyway. Yeah, see, I knew something wasn't going to work, right? This button up here is still disabled, so now I can't get out of here except for... So this obviously is no good for you, but... I'm just in the middle of working on it. So now it's just a little bit more comfortable of it's not so like rushed, like, oh, here's everything in one, on one page for you to just, and I guess it makes the app seem a little bit more sophisticated if you're like, you have to move here, in and out of here. It makes it look bigger than it really is or whatever. So it's like, oh, look. So I added this stuff. Oh, live data. It just takes us here. This is like a placeholder right now. Live data. I have to work out. There's a lot of stuff I missed. Like the PC app, if you use it might not have worked because there's some live data sections. And actually, part of the protocol is for the scan tool to go into the car and say, what PIDs do you support? There's actually let me see. Look over on the right here on the screen on the right. There is actually a PID, or there's a command to get PIDs, to get the PIDs to where I don't know where. Oh, there it is, to get the PIDs. Right. So there's a command, and I totally interpreted this all wrong. So whatever this code is here is no good. This is ridiculous code. I mean, it's a good code, but it doesn't do at all what it's supposed to. The PIDs is it's basically service mode. Well, every service mode, actually, you could be 1, 2. Any service mode will give you the PIDs it supports. And anyway, so what I was doing originally with live data on my PC app is I would just try to get PIDs. I wouldn't even check. I I mean, I would read this in, I'd interpret it wrongly and then do nothing, and then try to get a PID that wasn't supported, right? So that's wacky. So what has to happen is, the first thing is this thing, before you even try to get any live data, you have to ask the car what exactly PIDs. You know, we're just talking regular, we're not talking crazy bidirectional stuff. We're just talking real standard, straight up stuff. So you have to actually ask the car, you know, what do you support? And somewhere in the protocol, I remember reading, you have to keep an in-memory list. There's a whole bunch of things that I missed. So, you know, this is all for entertainment purposes only, right? You're not, right? Okay, so here's another thing. I made this video, bidirectional myth, that you might have seen, and it was all based on the dongles. Jeez, I'm not really prepared. I don't have any dongles in front of me. You know, these guys. This one's in a bag. I have a new dongle. Anyway. And I was saying, like, how the ELM327 is like this thing, and you can program in a serial number and everything. But I got to tell you the truth. It depends what I was doing. If I was working with OBD2, because check this out. What I found these are like $14. Look, this is like 5 CAN controllers, like all just like production, you know, snaps. I just snap one off. You know, there's 5 of them. These. I am going to, when I can, experiment and take one of these and create my own dongle running off of Linux, right? So no ELM327. So I'm going to try to talk to the CAN directly to the car, right? This is a pipe dream at this point. But if I was designing a car, and I was designing, like, if I was I don't know how to say this. If I was playing an important role in designing a car with a manufacturer, and it was part of my job to come up with a system for that manufacturer to communicate to the vehicle, I would not go with the ELM327. I would go with something like this. Probably maybe even something like a little bit more sophisticated, because, well, anyway, I would go with something like this, which would directly talk to the CAN. And see, the strength of the ELM327 is that there's a lot of different protocols that it supports, and it'll just kind of on the fly detect it. But if you know what protocol it is, and you know exactly what car you're talking to, you might be better off just hooking up directly to the CAN, which is like a whole other world of stuff. And now you can see why. Like, I could see where you could take one of these CAN controllers, pair it up with a Bluetooth controller, and then hook it up to like some dongle, right? This is actually the kind that would plug into the car. I have the you know, this is designed to plug into the car, right? The other one you saw that I had mimics the car, but this is the male, the other side. But I could take a Bluetooth module, I could hook up this CAN module to the Bluetooth module, and then put this all inside of a dongle, and then not even have an ELM327. So I might have spoken a little too soon about the bidirectional myth stuff. If I was going to do it, I wouldn't use the ELM327. Let me just put it that way. If I was working with one specific vehicle. Right, if I was working with but if I had to see 20 different vehicles a day, some freaking 25 years old and some 2 years old, maybe the ELM327 I think I'd probably start with, because of all the different protocols. And there's a lot of little things going on with the protocol. But if you're a mature company, you might already have libraries of that code, so you won't need the ELM327. But I'm realizing that I don't know what the hell I'm realizing. Anyway, so here's the future of this software, which is not available right now. And I wanted to show you some mistakes. I made a bunch of mistakes. I know I can't remember them all, but at one point I was talking about how, you know, this is the code, right? This is all this support stuff to talk to the car, right? Here's the get DTCs, and here's the code to do. Yeah, well, oh, right. The permanent TTCs. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. Sometimes I look at my own code like as if, who wrote this stuff? Sometimes. It seems like all the time. Get all DT. Right. Remember some other video? There's actually more than just the 03 that you call to get the DTCs. Where's the 03? I thought I saw that. Oh, there it is, the O3, right? So here's the get DTCs. You send an O3 and it'll get you the DTCs, but if you have manufacturer-specific DTCs, you want to get them out of the can, out of this address 13, service mode 13, and I forget what these parameters mean. It's like all types of errors. Let's see. Did you know that you could clear errors by type? I haven't quite gotten to that. So the problem that I made, though, okay, so we could dwindle all day playing, looking at these numbers, but the thing that I made is, like, for example, to get the VIN, it's PID 2 of service mode 9. Now, that's very nice that I put it together like this, but as a developer, if you are a developer, you might say to yourself, well, geez, it's tightly coupled. It's like, I don't know if that's the right exact word, but this maybe I should have service modes, and then somewhere else I should have PIDs, and then somewhere magically I'll put them together when I need to. I don't know, somewhere else. So I'm thinking that that's actually more appropriate because, for example, this is mode 14, this is mode 13. These with these parameters following it. This is mode 18. I mean, right? Yeah, I don't have to use mode. A is actually 10, right? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A, B, C, D, E, F. Mode 9, PID 2. So these are all nice to use, but they're not very flexible, right? Up here where I'm talking to the chip, all of the commands start with an AT, so you could actually think of AT as its own mode. Get current protocol. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm pretty sure this is an AT, so... So I was okay, so I'm not sure why it doesn't have AT. I think that's part of one of my experiments from a couple weeks ago. But AT is basically a service mode, and then here's the parameters. TP6 is the command to set to set all these different things. Oh, right, it's a specific protocol. Actually, it's I'm not accurate enough there. It's more specific than that. But anyway, so I need to split these up because, for example, let's get more specific. For example, if I am looking for, let's get some real MAF rate, right? This is a specific value that almost every modern car is going to give you, MAF rate. So what do I have here to get the MAF rate? I have this service mode 1, 1, 0, but as I was looking at freeze frame data is going to have if it's available, will provide the MAF rate. I don't know if MAF rate's part of freeze frame, but just go with this one, right? Assuming MAF rate is stored as a freeze frame parameter or PID, then this 01, the service, if I want to reuse this little piece of code, it has to always be in service mode as 1 is my problem. I want to use it in service mode 2, which is freeze frame. And that means I have to create another duplicate? And in software, that's like heresy, creating duplicate code. It's like, what are you doing, man? It's like a blueprint. It's like if you have, you go down a block and you see all the houses were built obviously from the same blueprint, right? You didn't design a new blueprint for every house. You designed one blueprint and you just boom, 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 instantiated a house every 50 or 60 feet, right? You do the same thing in code. These are blueprints. All code is just nothing but blueprints for like how a machine is supposed to act. So if you have duplicate blueprints, it's like, don't do that. So this is a big problem, and what is necessary for live data. If I'm going to start saying, give me this specific PID, I want to be able to have to say, here's the service mode, and then here is the PID, instead of this stuck. So I have I created, what is this now? Right, this duplicate thing here, right? This is, these are ELM 327 command dictionary, and then I have this is supposed to be I still can't spell. I don't know what this is. OPB, I don't know what that is. All right, I can't spell. I just saw that. It's been here for weeks, and I just saw that I didn't spell it because I haven't been using it that much. But see here, I took out the ATs, right? I took out all the ATs, and then I took out the 18s. See now, right? But see now, here's a problem. What's this 03? Get DTCs. Oh yeah. See, now it has to be understood that these are just PIDs. The get DTC. No, this is service mode. This doesn't even belong here. See this? See, I got all these these new problems because get DTCs is service mode 3 with no parameters. It doesn't even belong in here. It belongs somewhere else where I do service modes, right? So I could, for example, if I'm going to get the VIN, I'm going to, right, remember it was 0902? Well, here, these are just the PID numbers. So somewhere else in the code, which I haven't quite figured out yet. Oh, this went off. Somewhere, just, give you something to look at. Somewhere else in the code, I have to come up with the to get the VIN, I'm going to have to say, okay, somewhere else, I'm going to have to map out and say, to get the VIN, I need service mode 9, and I need PID 2 from service mode 9. Right, so I need to break things up into little pieces. So this is a big problem that I created for myself, because everything is based on, just run this thing. It's a simple, the code is more simple, but see, there's a rule that I know it's true as a developer. I don't really hear developers say, but here's a simple rule for developers. If it's easy for you as a developer, it sucks for the user. All right? If it's a little bit of a hassle for you as a developer, then the user's probably going to be happy. This is a simple freaking rule. It's a universal damn rule. If you're a developer, if you're a really good developer, then it's easy for you, it's easy for the customer, it's easy for, when the due date comes, you're like got your feet up on the table and filling out paperwork, right? If you're really, really good. Anyway, what else? I'm complaining a little bit. So that's the update on the software. Oh, it's the other thing, right? I actually had the gall and the nerve to come on here and start talking about, I'm going to charge this and charge that. I really can't realistically see me charging anything for this software. It's up there. It's got ads in it. It's on Google Play, but unless I have something unless I start hearing people say, oh, this is really great stuff, there's no way I can start charging even, 50 cents for this? How could I charge money for this, right? I don't know. That's probably my own problem or something, but, because it isn't about money. I mean, money's nice, but it's about, I don't know what the hell it's about. I don't know what it's about. I'll go play the guitar and sing a little bit later. I don't know. But I just, in the reality of what it is right here and now, the old famous what it is. Of course, the setup is still on the front page, right? In the old sayings of what it is what it is, man. And it strikes me just as trying to be objective to look at this thing, like if I was looking at somebody else, that's pretty nice work, and then try to make, I guess I might have some sympathy, but I can't, it seems absurd to even ask money for this thing at this point, right? Which is fine. Anyway, so am I sharing, is that what's the too much information? Anyway, so there it is. I'm working on this. I am so my next thing is I want to get live data. There's other problems. Another problem I have is reading the VIN off of cars that aren't using older protocols. I should have had it ready. There's a little bit different way of reading the VIN, but I don't know what the protocol is until I got like this catch-22 deal going in there. I read the VIN from modern cars, I think, pretty easily. From older cars, a little different protocol. You get this NA, you don't get a VIN to get read in. Oh, speaking of VINs, so I have to work on that, and that makes a lot of sense, right? If I just had a table inside here and just asked you to enter your car, then I wouldn't even have to try to figure out how to read the VIN. I could just look and say, oh, this is one of these cars, read the VIN this way. But now I'm trying to do everything automatically and sort of like, whoa, just let me on the fly, see if I can read this, and so it's a little freaking gives me a problem. I don't know if you noticed it, but I wrote I created a web page where you can go. I mean, there's a zillion of them up there, but it's a web page where you can go and look up your VIN. And sadly enough, I don't have a VIN right here to look up. You just do it. Wait a minute. Let me see if I. What was the first? I think 1. You know what? It's supposed to autofill or something, right? All right. PX. Let's see. I'm looking off screen. Yeah, 1FT. What is the problem, man? All right. I'm not gonna it's gonna take forever to come up with that. Anyway, you can look up your VIN and it should come up with the car. And the cool thing is on the software, there's a little button. I should have freaking put this on. I should have recorded this. I should have hooked this up to my car. But if it reads your VIN, if it's able to read your VIN, there'll be a little button here, and then you'll be able to click the button, and it'll take you over to that web page, and it'll load up that VIN that it read. I'm totally unprepared today, man. All right, I don't know. I don't have an excuse. I just don't. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sticking around, and jeez, I'm just kind of babbling today. I'm not really giving you a lot of good information. Let me okay, well, anyway, now I'm babbling. So look, thanks a lot for coming by. I just wanted to give you an update. There it is, man. It's what it is. Have a great day. I really appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you watching, and all the kind things that people have said. Really, really freaking cool, man. So I'll catch you next time.